the Almighty God. Bravo. You were splendid.
In the name of the people of France, this court, after due and impartial deliberation of this case, finds the accused guilty of the crime which he has been charged, and in accordance with the prescriptions of the law, condemns Arthur Meursault to be decapitated in full view of the general public.
I've heard they always come for you at dawn. Now I spend my nights waiting for that one daybreak. I never liked being caught off guard. That is why I will only sleep during the day, watching all through the night for the first glimmer of light in the sky. At the slightest sound, I hurry to the door, press my ear to the wood, listening so intently that I can hear my own breathing. Quick horse breathing, like the panting of a dog. Then my frenzy subsides, and I know I will live another 24 hours. I refused to see the prison chaplain 3 times. I have nothing to say to him. I don't feel like talking. I've spent a lot of time thinking that it makes very little difference whether one dies at the age of 30 or at the age of 70. For once you're dead, it doesn't matter how or when you died. Whenever I talk myself into believing that, I am at peace for a little while. I really do not need to see the chaplain.
Don't be afraid.
You usually come at the last moment.
This is just a friendly visit. It has nothing to do with your appeal. I have no information about that. Here, sit beside me.
No, I'd rather not.
Why wouldn't you let me visit you?
I'm an atheist.
How can you be sure there's no God?
Why bother about it? It seems to me that's not really important.
It's quite easy to say you feel sure, when inside you're racked by doubt. Don't you believe so?
That's possible. In any case, I may not be sure about what interests me really, but I know I'm sure of what bores me. And I'm sure I'm very bored by what you've said.
Aren't you talking to me like this because you feel desperate?
I'm not desperate. I'm afraid. That's human, isn't it?
God can calm your fears. My friend, I'm not telling you this because you're condemned to die. We are all condemned to die.
But not by execution. So that's no consolation to me. You should realize that.
I do. But you have to die someday, whether it's now or later. And then the same question will arise. How will you face that terrible final hour?
In exactly the same manner as I'm facing it this moment.
Have you no hope at all then? Do you truly believe that nothing remains after you die?
Right.
How I pity you. Life must be unbearable for you if you think like that. Listen to me. I'm sure that your appeal will be successful, but that's not what concerns me. You are bearing the burden of great sins which you must atone for. Man's justice is nothing at all. Only God's justice matters.
I was condemned by man's justice.
Man is powerless to offer you redemption.
Sin means nothing to me. They've condemned me for an act that I've committed. So I'm paying the price. You may ask no more of me than that.
You're wrong if you believe that. You'll be asked to pay more. A lot more than you imagined.
What is that?
You'll be compelled to see, to confront.
Confront what?
These walls are steeped in human misery. I know that. I sense the torment and sorrow they've hidden. But deep inside, I know each man who waited here for death saw emerging from that blackness our Savior's face. You will see that face as well.
All these months, I've stared at the walls, and now there's nothing. Nobody there. Nothing but the four walls. Yes, I stared. A long time ago. I too searched for someone's face. It was a face like the sun, flaming with desire. The face of a woman named Marie. But I searched in vain. It's all over now. I've never seen anything emerging from these filthy walls.
Won't you try to pray then?
No.
Do you prize the things of this earth so much?
Huh?
No. I don't believe that. I feel sure you've often wished for a life after death.
Of course I have, who hasn't. But in the same way that I wish to get rich, to travel all over the world, to have a better shaped mouth. It's no more important than that.
When you think of dying, tell me, how do you envision what follows?
A life where I will remember all of this. I'm sick and tired, monsieur. Leave me. Time is precious now. I don't want to waste it on God.
Why speak to me as monsieur? Call me father.
You're not my father. You stand with the others.
My son, I stand with you. But you remain unaware because your heart is filled with hate. I shall pray for you then.
I don't want you to pray for me. You're so certain about everything. Not one of your certainties is worth a single strand of a woman's hair. You're not even sure if you're alive because you act like a dead man. And it looks like I have nothing. But I am sure of what I am. Sure of everything. Sure of my life and now even my death. I only know that. But I'm sure that it is the truth for me. My mother doesn't matter. Nobody matters really. But especially not your God. Or how I chose to exist. Or thought I did. The others will also face this fate. As will you, don't you understand? What difference does it make if a man's accused of murder and executed for not weeping near his mother's body? Or that old Salimano never loved anybody but his mutt? Or that Marie wanted me to get married? What difference does it make if Ramon is my friend just like Celeste? Or is a better man than his? And what does it really matter if Marie is kissing another man today? But don't you see, you must die just as I die. But I'm sure of what I face.
All right, let go of
future.
him. That's enough.
Let him go. Let him go.
Once he'd gone, I felt at peace again. I think I must have slept because when I opened my eyes, The stars were shining down on my face.